Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Let's go to the video. All right, here it is, pumpkin spice tasting time.
Because it's the season, and even if you want to or you don't want to, you're still going to be eating pumpkin spice. So let's find out what is less disgusting than some of the other things.
I think it's gone way too far.
I don't think I've ever had anything like, for instance, at Starbucks that was edible. Okay.
Which one?
Well, first of all, we start out with some of the dessert foods, although this is a troublingly named. This is the Belvita that is actually apparently a food, a meal replacement.
This is international. There's a problem. This is spread now to other countries.
Infected other innocent
and
people.
so now what we have is one of these, and they're more of a biscuit, aren't they?
It's a meal replacement biscuit. Actually, they call it a wafer, so I don't even know if it counts as a biscuit. You ready?
Take a bite.
Cheers.
Yeah. I don't like pumpkin spice. It's fine. It tastes like gingerbread. Do you think?
A little dry. That tastes really sweet for a meal replacement biscuit, really.
That's not a meal replacement biscuit.
4 biscuits is only 230 calories.
All right, let's move on. All right,
The third ingredient, sugar, though, which is weird for a meal replacement.
Oh, you know what I saw the other day? Was pumpkin spice toilet paper. It's like you have a pumpkin patch where the sun don't shine. Our son has these all the time. Mm-hmm. Once again, excuse me, but isn't she from Holland?
Mm-hmm. Now even the Dutch have descended to our level.
That is just horrible.
I know, I'm so sorry, people. All right, let's try it out. This is a pumpkin spice. These are like the regular
wafers. They
sugar
call them wafers, so you know it's from a foreign land. You want to taste like pumpkin spice again?
You know, that's actually not bad. I don't like the other ones because they always just taste like shortening and then a crispy stuff. That actually has like a flavor. No, it's really good.
Like pumpkin spice.
It's better though. The point is, these are pumpkin spice, honey. You're just supposed to determine whether it's pumpkin spice-tastic or pumpkin spice disgusting.
Were you in the foreign food section? Because once again, I don't know that company. Franz?
These are the German donuts.
These are German pumpkin spice
now, even
donuts.
our innocent friends.
Pumpkin spice.
The orange inside frightens me a little bit.
Maybe with coffee. Okay. This is kid stuff.
Don't you even want to know what I think about it?
No. What do you think about it?
That's actually really good.
You think?
The Franz one is more delicately flavored, so it's not quite as disgusting. Like, look, we're trying to force you to believe that this is pumpkin spice. It's like nice.
Right.
I liked it.
All right. So the last one we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. May I?
Yes.
And this is Hood.
I'd like to point out this is pumpkin spice with a witch on it. Pumpkin spice, witch stuff.
Okay.
All right. Because they knew that we weren't going to buy that it was for Christmas because it's still early October, but...
It's orange.
What would have led you to think that would happen?
Look how good I am.
Look at you, you're slick. You're a good
I'm
bartender.
about to throw up. All right, here we go. Ready?
Cheers.
Cheers. Pumpkin spice eggnog.
That is awesome.
You know what saves this? It's friggin' eggnog.
That is unbelievably delicious. Damn you, Hood.
Oh. I remember I was at a party once.
Usually it'll wait till like December, but that's going to start early this year. You were at a party at once? And
At once, and someone, they were passing the eggnog around, and somebody said, "This is just too rich and thick. We need to water it down with something." And I was all depressed until I found out it was rum.
I wasn't aware that eggnog had an extra ingredient until I was about 30.
Yeah. Okay, so what have we learned? We've learned that this will pass.
Pumpkin eggnog is delicious.
Right.
The pumpkin spice donuts from Franz, pretty good.
Yeah.
The Belvita was of the meal replacement biscuits was essentially punishment for something I've done wrong in the past.
Did you go to a German store or something?
And then the Vertman Bakery.
The Vertman.
That wasn't bad. If you like sugar wafers, it's probably has more taste than anything else you're used to.
Get the toilet paper.
I'd like to ask about the chocolate chip edition of that toilet paper, but I don't think I want you to tell me. Ta-da! Nah, it's all gotten out of hand. It's just... You know, that eggnog is delicious, though.
Every eggnog.
That was freaking delicious.
Put all kinds of stuff in there and it'll still be good.
I know, but now I'm going to get into Halloween eggnog. I'm going to be the size of a planet. I mean, or at least a continent.
But you're my planet.
Thank you, honey.
Mitt Romney, back in the news.
This is scary. Well, you know, they've had the big vape crisis where they're finding out that they're getting more and more kids that are being hospitalized. They're going to intensive care and they're finding all these lung illnesses they hadn't seen before.
Right.
And it's kind of exploded. Mitt Romney actually flew into town. Senator Mitt Romney, he did a big roundtable with a bunch of doctors, and they were talking about this yesterday, saying... One of the doctors said his main concern always was nobody knew the long-term effects. And the trouble is this isn't controlled by the FDA.
No.
So it's like you have no idea. We've already had our first death in Salt Lake County from vaping.
We have.
Which is really scary. And they said that of all the kids that are coming into the hospital or to the doctor, 90% of them end up being in intensive care, which is scary. And the next thing that they're telling parents now, if your kid looks like he has the symptoms of flu, get him to the hospital or to the doctor immediately.
And go through his stuff and see if he has a...
Yeah, they say, though, that that's one of the main things of vaping, vaping lung injury, is that it comes across as flu symptoms. So parents are like, oh, I'll just keep you at home, try to keep you hydrated, and it doesn't come out till later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is so prevalent in high school now. They don't call bathrooms anymore. They call them vape rooms.
So when I was a kid growing up, where you buy this stuff, it was called a head shop. And you would go in, and there were bongs, and
Wouldn't that be for marijuana?
But these stores sold this stuff, and they sold it legally.
Really?
And they sold all these different things. What stores have done now is they have become a vape store. Yet, what they do, so they don't fall in that classification, they put other stuff, T-shirts and stuff like that, up for
it's
sale.
like a novelty shop or something.
And they also changed the receipt, so in some cases, where if you bought $28 worth of vape liquid or whatever, it would ring up as $5 for vape, and then the rest would be for assorted items.
Wow, that's scary.
So they're trying to avoid the whole thing of being called a vape store because obviously this is going to come down on them. So
now explain this to me. You were saying, because I wasn't clear on how this works with the oil. How does it work?
Well, one of the doctors I was watching, and one of the suggestions, because they're still scratching their heads over this, was the fact that it's an oil. When you put it in whatever thing you're smoking it through, there is a coil in there that is charged with a battery that heats up and it vaporizes the oil. Then that's when you inhale and that huge cloud of stuff goes out. And what they're thinking is that oil goes and coagulates back into that oil inside your lungs.
Oh.
But they're still scratching their head. This is just some people going, what's happening? What's going on? Because obviously no one knows. And then you have tampering with that on top of that. And so they got to figure out where it's coming from, number one. So anyway, the journey begins.
Now the class action lawsuit. Now,
oh yeah, listen to this.
Tell me what happened here.
A lot of people, this Johnson & Johnson Risperdal, and this is used...
It's an antipsychotic, right?
Yeah, autistic disorder, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, all these different situations.
It's a serious drug, though.
And it's been around for a long time. And they were sued by a group of people, a class action, for the fact that men were growing breasts. And as funny as I could make jokes about that, it's not funny. And if you're in a situation where you need this medication, none of this was tested. None of this was not tested, but none of this was reported by Johnson & Johnson. And they just got nailed for $8 billion. $8 billion, which they're going to contest and all that. But let me just put a little thing on this. $8 billion when the opioid company lost its class action suit for a state, and I don't remember what state it was.
And these are thousands and thousands of deaths in an international health crisis with opioids. I mean, we all know about this now. We've been educated.
So we're not talking about male breasts. We're talking about deaths. And they were charged $536 million as opposed to $8 billion. They gave 536.
And there's been a couple of women-related drugs that were related to sparking uterine cancer, a couple of other things like breast cancer, maybe a couple $100 million, but that was it. And so I just want to point something out that is so ridiculously sexist to me that I don't even know I have to point this out. I'm sure it is horrible getting breasts as a man. I am not denying that at all. But seriously, that is more horrifying than somebody dying of opioid overdose or women being infected with a cancer that will eventually kill them. But you're so upset about your breasts that you get $8 billion.
And
that doesn't seem even slightly sexist to anyone here as a jury award, even slightly.
And as I always say, why can't we take care of everyone? There you go. I'm thirsty. This would be a great time to have a glass of water.
I think we should have some water.
Tell us about water, Erin.
Well, here's why. Actually, I came on a constant basis because this man has never once made it through summer without getting heat stroke at least once.
That's a thing I do.
So it's our constant joke. Hey, Todd, wouldn't this be a great time for you to drink some water?
It sure would, Erin, my love.
Actually, this is really cool. They polled almost 200,000 Americans over the space of the last 10 years.
Yes.
And they were trying to look for some key determinants that gave them an idea of why people are happy and why they're not. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of different things associated: lifestyle, income, family, personal satisfaction, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But this is one thing they found out that was a constant. Now, 67% of people who drink more than enough water evaluated themselves as very happy. If you drink enough water, and that would be at least 8 5-ounce glasses a day, if not more, you would
How much?
8 5-ounce glasses. People think that it's 8-ounce glasses. People think if you drink 5 that you're enough. No, doctors say it should be 8. What they're saying though is that if you do drink that, you're evaluated to be very happy, 3 times more. And the 10 plus glasses a day drinkers were statistically likely to be 80% happier than the rest of the population. I mean, you have to admit that's pretty cool.
I think people go overboard though.
Well, no, you see people gathering around the big jugs.
Some people are addicted. I saw a lady at Smith's and she had water. She took her water to go buy more water at Smith's. And so she wouldn't miss out for 5 minutes.
10 plus glasses a day, you are 80% statistically likely to be very happy.
There's no way I could drink that much.
Yes, you could.
I think the big goal is that your pee's clear. All right, I want to talk about being a king. Who doesn't want to be would you like to be a king or a queen? In Sweden, especially in Sweden, so happy.
I know the monarchies in Scandinavia, because they're all just impeccably beautiful and they're really, really super nice. And they don't have a lot to do, but they have really nice palaces.
Well, they got titles too. Prince, princess, duke, duchess.
I want to be a duchess.
Cabin boy. I don't know. I don't know. Thinking about the
kind
barn.
Kind of regress something there.
The barn.
Let's
and
move.
Okay, so anyway, the point is that the king decided, and then that.
And this is the king of Sweden.
Yes, and he said, you know what? We're not going to put them in charge anymore and make them do stuff.
King Carl Gustaf. Okay.
So they're going to take them off the payroll and just stick with the 2, because actually Sweden was one of the first countries to say next in succession doesn't matter the sex.
Male or female. So that means why Princess Victoria would be the next to take the throne.
Exactly. Yeah. Now,
number 1, thank you, sir.
I think this statement says it all. And this is an Instagram post. And they said, the youngest of King Gustav's 3 children,
Princess Madeline,
said the change had been planned for a long time, adding that it gives their children, and listen to this, folks, with a kid living in your basement, a greater opportunity to shape their own lives as private individuals.
I don't want to. I want to stay in the palace. Are you out of your mind?
It's like, pack up your video games and get to the curb.
The kids are like,
but I'm a duke.
What? This is like when Sting announced that he was going to give all of his money away and his kids weren't going to inherit anything because he wanted them to stand on their own 2 feet. And his kids were like,
what?
No, Dad, no, that's a bad
You're wrong. So
Wow.
anyway, yeah, so there you go. So even the king of
Thanks, Granddad. That's
Sweden are
great.
kicking the kids out of the castle basement, which used to be called a dungeon. So anyway, you guys have a great day. We'll see you Tuesday on the Todd and Erin Daily Stream.
And don't forget the $100 Target gift card. If you haven't applied yet, it's very, very simple. Just put a comment or like on the show today, and you're all done. That's literally as simple as it gets. And we'll be drawing in 10 more days.
All right. We'll see you later. Have a good week.